And today we have one of our favorite people joining us on the podcast. You're not going to want to miss it. We're going to have him right after this.
And now,
I'm the captain now.
coming to you from the K2 Studios in San Diego, California.
This sounds great. You sound amazing.
I always sound amazing.
It's the world famous
Everybody's hitting off like BFFs.
Chris and Christine Show.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? How are you doing today? Thank you so much for listening. And I am Chris.
And I'm Christine, and welcome to episode 103 of the Chris and Christine Show. Do-do-do-do.
Fantastic. 103 episodes. How do we even pull that off? You know, it's funny. I almost forgot what episode we were on, to tell you the truth.
That's why I always check the numbers, but today is like the best day ever because we have the one, the only Derek Duvall joining us on the Chris and Christine Show. Welcome to the show.
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
Hey, buddy. Thank you so much for making the trek all the way out here.
Yeah, we're welcoming you into our nearly empty Chris and Christine Show studios here in San Diego. It looks a little bit emptier than normal, but are you cool with being here in the room with us today?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so sorry if it's a little bit echoey, everybody, but big news. Spoiler alert, Chris and I are moving.
What? We are? Why'd you tell me this stuff, babe?
We're moving to a bigger house eventually, sometime soon. Date to be determined. But, you know, thanks so much for flying out here to be with us today, Derek. We really appreciate it.
Welcome.
So Derek, I heard in your podcast like last week that you possibly might be taking a little trip on an airplane flying over this house over the ocean to another island.
Yeah, from Houston to Hawaii.
Houston to Hawaii?
Are you driving to Houston? Is it catching a plane there?
Piss no chance. No. Behave yourself now. Come on. No, we're flying from here to Houston, and then we have like an hour and a half layover there, and then it's an 8.5 hour trek to Honolulu.
Oh, wow. Honolulu.
Yeah. That's like so how long is your day? Like you're planning your trip all the way out there. How long does it take?
I think it's going to be pretty much like a 20-hour day. I think.
Oh my word!
Oh my
the time change, but it's okay. You know what? I mean, when in Rome, yeah, exactly. You just power through.
Now, is this your first time traveling to Hawaii?
No, I've been to Hawaii many times in the past.
He was in the Navy. Don't you remember? He was a Navy sailor. So
I remember, but I didn't know if he went to Hawaii for that.
No, it's Mindy's first time.
Oh.
So, yeah, she's never been, so.
It's like her inaugural Hawaii trip. Like this last trip that Chris and I went on was. It's so beautiful. I love Honolulu.
I know. We're trying to go back, but stupid COVID.
Now, do they require like all of the testing requirements and quarantining kind of stuff still?
Yes. Yeah, no quarantining. Now, if you're vaccinated, you can just, do not pass go, do not collect 200. But if you're not vaccinated, you have to quarantine. To be honest, I don't even let you in the bloody country, to be honest with you.
They just send you around, get you on a plane, head back?
Might as well.
Do hear about the couple that got arrested during COVID? They were like staying in a hotel, and they were supposed to be quarantining in Hawaii, but they like left their hotel, and they took off, and somehow they got arrested.
Good. I hope they throw the bloody key away too.
Yes. Now, are you, because you have a day job at a place not to be disclosed, but you have a day job where you have to be around people, and so does Mindy. So how are you all keeping yourself safe so that you don't get sick?
That's half true. So Mindy's been working at home now for over a year.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Awesome.
Yeah, she works from home. But no, I work in a petri dish of human, pretty much the worst that humanity has to offer.
Wow.
And that says a lot.
People who don't even brush their teeth, you can smell it from a mile away. Oh, it's glorious. Yeah, you can see how excited I am to be there. Anyway, so actually, there's a funny story about that. I actually went to the dentist the other day to get the old skeleton looked at. Mm-hmm. And I'm in there, and my dentist, she's a lovely lady. Me and her get along like hellfire. And I have this pretty hardcore phobia of the dentist as it is, so she puts me at ease. Anyway, she's doing the whole inspection, like I've got, I need a couple of crowns and some filling. Oh, sorry, root canals done. And I was getting done, and I said, can I ask you a question? And she goes, sure, what's up? I said, and this is, you can bleep this part out your show. I said, how the hell do I tell people to brush their teeth? Because there's no nice way of saying it. And that was it. She crying, laughing, and everybody's saying, it's just, that's the one thing I didn't appreciate about masks so much. Right. Is that it masked the god-awful breath that some of these people have.
I didn't think about that, yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're brushing their teeth with I don't know what, but it's just, it's the absolute worst.
I have, my skin crawls with some bad breath. And
it's
like first thing in the morning, I'll say good morning to Chris.
Are you trying to say something
No,
to me,
but
baby? First
thing in the morning, I don't want to breathe on people. I don't want them to breathe on me. I don't want anything like that. Like, no. There's very few smells. Well, anyway, I have a very sensitive nose, but body odor, including mouth odor, is something that just makes my stomach turn.
There was a gentleman who works there. He looks like a cross between the Unabomber and like a I don't know, Olympic runner. And and he's just he's got this big, gruffy beard, and he looks like he's been, seen some shit in his life. And he's like walks up to me without a mask, and he's like, hey, blah blah blah. I was like, what's up? And he goes, I got to tell you about blah blah blah. And as he's getting to the blah 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 part, I'm like, me, dude, this breath is rancid. And I'm like, just take. No, this is where the what's the word I'm looking for? The customary greeting. Do I take like a tiny half step backwards, and for every sentence another half step backwards until the point he gets the point that this is leaving me. So it's pretty bad. So.
Well, tell us how you really feel about bad breath.
Well, that's why I always have mouthwash.
I need someone.
Yeah.
I need someone breathing in my face like that, like I need an infected scrotum. It's just the absolute worst.
Hey, speaking of masks, and discussing things, I actually saw a meme that they're going to start doing pumpkin spice masks smell. So you can have pumpkin spice in your face like, all day.
You just basically like threw like the bat signal in the sky for every basic white girl I think you've ever met in your life. So,
I would rather like a cinnamon apple. I could do that one.
Lord.
Yeah, pumpkin pie, or maybe for the South, a bacon smelling mask.
Good Lord.
Well, we're excited for you to be able to go on your trip. And so how are you avoiding all of the germs? That's kind of how we got onto that little rant.
Have you ever seen that scene in The Big Bang Theory where Shelton had his face up over his t-shirt over his nose and spraying Lysol in the air?
Oh, yeah.
That's basically the equivalent of me when I go through like a drive-through or I had to take something back to Kohl's that I ordered, and I'm walking through there, and like anytime someone comes near me, I'm like immediately took like 3 steps to the right.
Yeah.
So
we could just make you the bubble boy. You could like get one of those big giant plastic bubbles and walk around it all day long.
At this point, you know what? Sod it. Bring on the bubbles. I don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, look, full disclosure. I am a vaccinated. I am a fully functioning normal human being. But there are people I know, and especially those in this nearby neighborhood that I live in, who are anti-vaxxers, anti-vaccines, and I'm just like, please stay away from me.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like your neck of the woods.
It's the worst.
It's like if you look at the maps, like CNN will post a map out. They'll have like all the states that are like vaccinated, and like the ones that are not are like that pocket right there.
The best ones is like I've seen those maps. It's like orange is like some people just don't want to do it. You got red, and it's like man, this place we probably shouldn't go there. You get dark red, and it's like wow, they're in some real trouble. And then you see like almost the point of like dark purple, blue, black, and it's like Tulsa.
Wow.
Wow. That's
epicenter
crazy.
Right there. Wow.
So we actually had our city council, what was it, last week? So the whole, all the forward thinking citizens of Tulsa the other day were like, we need a mask mandate. We need it now. We're at a tipping point. And we're like, okay. So it went to the city hall and the council, and it got into people were getting arrested and bodies were flying practically. I mean, people were just screaming and yelling. The council people were screaming and yelling at each other. And in the end, they ended up with a mask recommendation.
What?
Well, that's kind of what we have here, right? It's like
and the mayor comes out and says, I encourage everyone to recommend you to wear a mask. And we're just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It's like getting on an airplane and them saying, we recommend you use an air mask or the oxygen mask in the event that we're, crash landing.
That's the rule, though, isn't it?
No, they say, please put on your face mask or your oxygen mask before putting someone else's. It's not a suggestion. It's like if to survive, you must do this. But it would be like the equivalent of saying, if the emergency lights come on, you can consider putting an oxygen mask on if you so desire to.
It's like that scene at Airplane where the stewardess goes in the cockpit and says, does anybody know how to fly a plane?
I hope that's
But no, do you remember that scene from Fight Club where Brad Pitt is talking to Edward Norton and he was talking about the illusion of safety. And he says, look at these flights things. And exactly what you're talking about. He goes, look at their faces. Calm, stoic. He goes, you know why? He goes, what? Oxygen gets you high. You accept your fate. Are
you planning on getting a nice stiff drink on the airplane?
I am. Hang on. How many days since December 26th, 2019?
He doesn't drink, Chris. He doesn't consume alcohol.
I am 618 days sober.
Well, look at that. Yep. Congratulations.
So he will get himself a nice stiff cranberry juice.
No Mai Tais on the airplane. What
is it, my period?
What? That's from The Departed.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, a good Coca-Cola we do just fine.
That's great. What airlines are you guys flying?
I think United, but don't quote me on that.
Okay. We flew over on Hawaiian. They gave us free Mai Tais and free nuts and Hawaiian treats on the way over there.
Well, that was not a Mai Tai. It was a Hawaiian punch. It was a non-alcoholic Hawaiian punch.
Are you kidding me? I thought I had alcohol in that thing.
No.
Well, I got a little loopy. I don't know.
That's your everyday. Okay,
that's
so
your
what
A1C crying out.
Yeah. So what are you most looking forward to on this upcoming vacation other than just getting away from the craziness that is life?
Oh, that's easy. Not ending in the back of a shark's gullet.
Are you planning on going swimming with sharks?
So the whole purpose of this vacation was buried on the promise that if we go to Hawaii, I had to go into the ocean. Now, before you say, Derek Duvall, you were a Navy sailor. How does that work? Or Derek Duvall, you're a massive Jaws fan. How does that work? Let me just say that there's a reason I was on an aircraft carrier. Number two, I don't go in the ocean. Because the second you dip a pinky toe in that water, you go down about 6 feet on the 6 positions on the food chain. Ooh. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You are not the apex predator in the water.
Are you guys going scuba?
So anyway. Yeah, we're going scuba diving about 8 miles off the coast.
What?
Are you certified?
So, no. Oh, not scuba, snorkeling.
Oh, okay.
What am I talking about?
Okay.
No. Snorkeling. Apparently there's a place where you can go out and see turtles and
there you go, yeah.
dolphins and fishies and probably plastic, who knows. But, so we're going out there. But anyway, you know me, I'm like going to be, my head's going to be 360 the whole time looking for Jaws.
I was too. Every time I went in the water, whether Mexico or Hawaii, same thing too. I was looking around for bigger animals, bigger than me. Because I could tell you a story. I was snorkeling out here in San Diego in La Jolla one year, long time ago. Now I think about it. And so the sea lions would come up and they would have their little sea lion hangout right there at the La Jolla area.
This is probably not the story to tell him, but go ahead.
So
go on. I've heard it all. Go on.
So I'm snorkeling out there with a buddy of mine. And we're snorkeling out there, and then I'm looking around because your head's in the water, right? And you kind of pop up to see where your buddy is, kind of over the surface. So I'm looking around, and I feel something kick me, or I kick something, and I turn around in the water, and it's a sea lion 2 feet from me, barking in my face, hey, knock it off, watch where you're going, kind of the watch where you're going thing. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. So then I swim around again, I look around, and I'm next to my buddy, and we look down, and we see this big shark swim right underneath us. Like a big, I mean, it's probably not that big, but to us it was big, Yeah. And you see the thing swimming, and I said, "We're getting out. We're getting out. It's time to go."
Yep.
So, and the fact that
if you see him, he's a good chance he's already seen you a long time ago.
It was probably 6-footer or something like that.
And some people will say, "Oh, well, 6 feet isn't that big," but when you think about the size of
that's
the
what
teeth,
she said.
But if you think about the size of the teeth on a 6-foot shark and the power behind it. You don't want to be anywhere near it. Even a 4-foot or a 5-foot shark, those can still do some serious damage.
Well, think of a dog. A dog is small in comparison to a shark, and they can really do some damage.
Yeah, this is true.
And
So you're braving the wild waters of Hawaii and getting out and snorkeling.
Yep. I've already bought myself a mask. I got one of those ones with nearsighted masks because I wear glasses.
While you're snorkeling, you wear
Yeah, because you can't wear glasses while you're snorkeling.
He doesn't mean like a mask, like a COVID mask, Chris. He means a snorkeling mask.
No, goggles. Like a goggle mask.
I know. Now, you got the one that's a full facial, right? The full face one, like spacesuit one?
No. It's like glasses, but like I said, it's they're for nearsighted people. So I'll be able to see what I'm doing.
Perfect.
Oh right, yeah. We were down there. We just rented the gear. They gave us the whatever gear. We went down there, but they do have the facial ones. There's a full face thing. You've seen those ones?
Maybe.
It looks kind of like I don't know. It reminds me of a Teletubby because it has a Teletubby. It has the little.
Everybody knows what you're talking about, honey.
The little rod at the top to breathe out of. That's not like the regular kind of snorkeling thing. It just reminds me of a Teletubby face.
I'm going to tell you right now, there are 3 outcomes of this whole excursion. One is my wife takes off my life jacket and I drown. 2.
Wait, do you not know how to swim?
He's how to swim.
I'm not the strongest swimmer in the world.
Okay, got it.
Number 2, shark will catch me from behind and that'll be game over. And then you'll be like, man, whatever happened to the Derek Duvall show? Shark. Oh, wow.
Shark.
And then the third outcome is I actually make it out of the water in one piece with my sanity in check.
And then
is that after you punched the shark in the face and rode him like a surfboard to the shore?
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be the latter, the very last one. No sharks. You're going to get out safe. You're going to, conquer the world, and you're going to become obsessed with snorkeling and want to go into every body of water from now on.
Sure. No, but we're doing that, and then we're going to go hiking.
Oh, awesome!
We got our anniversary's the 15th, so
how many
we're going to
years?
go to a nice 9.
Oh,
9 years. What's that even like?
What's that?
What's that even like? 9 years.
What?
Being married.
So it can be a utopia, or it's like shoveling hill sometimes. So
accurate description.
Yeah.
So you're going to take her to a nice dinner?
Yep, we got a nice I called in a nice reservation for 2 at this very fancy steak restaurant.
Ooh.
And then we're going to go, like I said, we're going to do some hiking. We haven't figured out where we're going to go hiking yet. That's still being actively
Falls.
batted around.
Yeah, we went to Manoa Falls. It's like a lighter trail. I mean, I say light. It's really tropical. The falls, when we went there, were kind of okay, but they weren't like knock on your butt kind of falls. They were like a
But I've heard Diamond Head is really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, there's a website that I saw that has 20 something different, hiking trails. And Mindy's like, I don't want to do 100 miles because I walk nearly 100 miles every 4 days. And I'm like, I would like to see, some beautiful things, take some nice pictures. So we're trying to find a happy medium right now. Compromise, secret of every marriage.
Definitely. Well, Manoa Falls is not very intense. It can be muddy, so wear good shoes. But it's beautiful. It's in a rainforest. You drive through this residential area.
Yeah, all these nice homes.
And then you happen upon this rainforest out of nowhere, and it's lovely. But there's also areas like in the North Island where like Jurassic Park was filmed and Lost was filmed, and you can go for, more of like a nice walk versus a hike necessarily, but you'll find the perfect place, and we can't wait to see photos of it.
Oh, I did not know they filmed Jurassic Park up in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, on Oahu, on North Island, and they actually have
the World too. Jurassic World was filmed there too.
But they actually have it starts with a K. Like Kualawa. I'll get the right name for you.
Yeah, I Googled it right now. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Right, and you can actually go and do tours there, and they have quads that you can, the 4-wheelers that you can go and rent, and they'll take you on tours, and it's supposed to be really cool, and it wasn't that expensive, so you should definitely think about going there.
I'm literally texting this to my wife as we speak.
See,
I'm like,
learn something new.
Now we're doing this. Yeah.
Now, how long are you going to be on this trip for?
I believe a week.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So full nights or 5 full days?
Well,
or?
a week is 7 days, Chris.
Well, I don't know. I guess I do know. But yeah, I'm just wondering. When people say a week, sometimes they'll say like 5 days,
Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah, no, we leave on the Monday and we're coming back on the Sunday.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well, that is a full week. She'll check you out. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. So, speaking of being back at home, who's going to be watching all your pets and your dogs when you guys are gone?
Oh, that would be my mother-in-law.
Oh,
She's
great!
gonna watch it. That and we have my friend Haley, who's an absolute great friend of me and my wife, who she lives kind of close to us. She's kind of our backup emergency in case something happens. So yeah, we have all our boxes checked. We're gonna be okay.
That's fantastic. Well, we have loved hearing about your vacation, and when we come back, we're going to ask you some more questions about podcasting and some other big events that are happening in our life. We'll be right back.
Hey there, K2 crew. We love having you as our loyal listeners.
To keep up to date with what's happening behind the scenes, check us out on social media.
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter.
And don't forget to follow our Facebook page.
Yeah, tag us in your favorite fun stories, and guess what? You might just end up on the show.
Ooh.
Today's episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. Do you feel like you're stuck in that dinner rut? Like, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. What do you want for dinner? Well, with HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients with mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip all those lines at the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. You can now enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less. With 25 recipes to choose from each week, there's something for everyone to enjoy.
All recipes are designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure deliciousness and simplicity. Some of those recipes are chicken and biscuit pot pie with carrots, celery, and fresh thyme, figgy balsamic pork cutlets with roasted green beans and rosemary potatoes, lemon cream chicken cutlets plus dilly potatoes and green beans, and taqueria pork bowls, which is a takeout favorite, with corn esquites, sour cream, and cilantro.
Go to the link in our show notes to get $80 off, including free shipping on HelloFresh, the #1 meal kit. And welcome back, everybody. This podcast is brought to you by the fine folks at CleanFeed. Now, Christine, you got any news about CleanFeed you want to talk about?
Yes, absolutely. CleanFeed has been powering our podcast, and it keeps getting better. It is one of our absolute favorite things that has to do with podcasting. And the new player and updated clips feature allow us to produce our podcast as if it was a live show like today, giving us a finished sound, which our audience absolutely loves. Its simplicity and ease of use means we've not had to look elsewhere to integrate audio into our podcast. We can do it right from inside CleanFeed.
Yeah, amen, sister. I love it. I love CleanFeed. If you have a podcast, you want to get clean, you want to get some clean, clear audio across the world anywhere, check on CleanFeed. So, hey, Derek, well, I got you here. Hey, buddy, your house, how long have you lived at your current house you have today?
Isn't that like one of the questions for like my bank account information?
Yes, and then your social too, and I want to know your date of birth and all your information.
We've lived here coming up on 6 years.
6 years was about 2015 when you bought the place?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
I believe it or not, we're actually just now starting to paint different rooms. So
this is the first paint job you've did since you've lived there?
Okay, so full disclosure. Our half bathroom downstairs and the half bathroom upstairs came up with this horrendous, hideous wallpaper that came with the house.
I think I've seen it.
And we were kind of like, all right, whatever, we'll get rid of it. We finally got rid of it, painted both rooms, and it came out pretty nice. And now because we have these giant, vaulted ceilings, it would take us, we'd have to get scaffolding and all that just to paint the hallways, but the little rooms, like the room my studio is in, is Weatherman Blue. That's what.
Wait, Weatherman Blue. What does that mean?
You never seen a blue screen for a Weatherman studio?
I've seen a green screen. They have blue screens?
Yeah, well, it used to have blue screens back in the day. Now it's green screen.
Oh.
Right, for CGI and that kind of stuff.
For CGI. So anyway, I call it Weatherman Blue. And
okay,
nice.
So Or someone called it iMessage Blue. I think that was another one.
Oh, I know what that color is.
Yeah. So anyway, I've done that, and then like I said, my wife, she just finished painting our full bath yesterday, and we've just been trying to tackling the rooms one at a time. We just painted our kitchen, and if you know anything about Mindy, purple is the letter of the day. So.
Yes.
Yes, she wears a lot of purple, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So Derek, your house. What made you decide to buy that house, and what was like your journey leading up to that?
I lost a bet.
Well, you lost a bet.
No, I'm just kidding.
You gotta buy a house? I bet you can't buy that house. I bet you can't buy that one. Oh man, okay.
No, believe it or not, I was working for a company at the time, and I was making stupid good money. And we were like, we had, when I had met Mindy, she'd already owned a house, and I moved in, and we outgrew the house. So we were like, this is our time. Let's take it to the next step. And we shopped around because I wanted a theater, like build a actual home theater in a room. And we went around, we all looked at, 50 houses easily. And we originally we'd found this house around the corner from here, and we put an offer in for it, but it turned out the house was in foreclosure, and we didn't know how long that was going to take to get cleared out. So we're like, well, sod that. For a game of toy soldiers, we're going to try something else. But we really liked the neighborhood that we're in. It was a very nice, very clean, safe neighborhood. And so we were down the road a little bit, and we saw this house, and we're like, all right, well, what the hell? Let's have a look. And we found the room upstairs, and we're like, sold. I actually said, we were in the house maybe 5 minutes. I was like, we'll take it.
Wow.
And
like that, huh?
now looking back, I don't think I would have bought this house. I think we probably would have kept looking around for something else. But,
wow.
Yeah. It was very poorly built.
They always say that. They always say they slap together really quickly, especially if it's like a track home.
It was a cookie cutter home for a neighborhood edition, and it's just been, especially the last 3 years, just trying to get it fixed, and we've bled through our savings just trying to keep the house, going and what have you. So. Well,
don't you have is there what do you call it, insurances or warranties on that kind of stuff?
No, we already had that as well, but this doesn't cover other things as well. So.
Oh wow!
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Has there been any natural disasters, like tornadoes or anything?
Oh God, no! Natural disasters, my life.
Okay. Other than your life, has there been I know that with the hurricane going on and stuff.
No. It's just like I said, just a poorly built house, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, we've run into our own share of homeowner horrors here in this house. But as we were mentioning at the beginning of the show, Chris and I are getting ready to purchase our first home together as a married couple. And we know that you and Mindy have walked through that journey. So we would love to get some tips and advice from you on either positive things or pitfalls to avoid. So bestow all of your knowledge on us, dear Derek Duvall.
You're talking to the wrong Duvall. She, God bless her, she took the brunt of most of it. Find yourself a great realtor. Find yourself a great home
lender.
loan, a lender, and find yourself a great what do you call it?
The escrow company.
No, not that. Title.
Oh.
Great title company where you sign and do your closing and stuff like that. Find those 3 things, and the rest of it all falls into place. But if you can't find those 3 things, then you're just going to be, walking around like a tit in a trance for about.
Well, it's funny. It's funny. Here you can shake a stick or throw a stick in any direction. You'll hit a lender or a mortgage company or a realtor.
Yeah.
Anywhere that everyone's trying to sell. Everyone's trying to jump on the old bandwagon of selling and. With real estate, especially when the market starts getting really hot like it is right now.
Yeah.
Everybody knows getting the real estate license or their.
It was doing very well here. We actually looked on Zillow not long ago or something. My wife had told me that our house is with the current market value was almost like $80,000 more than what we paid for it currently.
Right.
And we thought about, well, maybe finally this might be the opportunity to finally move up to the Northwest or the Northeast. And then we realized, that the flip side of that coin is every other Tom, Dick, and Harry in the world is trying to buy a house right now. So it's very competitive. You probably won't make any of your money back.
Yeah, it's like the used car market right now. It's like used cars are going for a ton of money.
Yeah,
and so you go to sell it, but then you can't get yourself another used or new car for a reasonable price. So it's like
it's funny, like even rentals. I have a buddy at work he has a new Jeep Cherokee. It's in the shop for transmission problems, and they told him we can't give you
get out of town. Really?
Why? You're
oh, I have one. Oh, I have one. Yeah, the biggest piece of shit I've ever had in my life.
Well, yeah,
horrible car.
Well, that's what I do you want to tell burst his bubble because he's all excited about it, So, but it's in there for that. I was kind of almost saying the same thing, like shocker. And they won't give him a rental car because they don't have rental cars to give him. Luckily, he has his dad's old pickup truck he can drive to work. And I have a spare car too. And I was telling Christine the other day, it's good to have a spare car because now they can't even give you a rental car even if they wanted to.
Chris, you're right that it's just really even hard to get rental cars right now. I remember when I had my car in the shop, my Explorer, it was in for a couple of weeks when this was before they bought it back and I got the new one because of the lemon laws. But they couldn't even give me the courtesy vehicle or a rental vehicle because there was nothing.
I know, luckily, people say, what do you need 2 cars for, Chris? But let me tell you, this is for times like this is we need the extra car. And they said if Mindy's not if your car was in the shop and Mindy's got a car, right?
No, not anymore. She sold her car for the exact reason.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yep.
Now, when you go to Hawaii,
we got a really good deal on it considering, what was wrong with it. I was completely surprised how much money we ended up getting for it.
Oh, wow. Now, when you go to Hawaii, are you guys going to rent a car?
Just the last 2 days.
Okay.
But no, do you remember the other Chris who comes on the show?
Money Chris?
Money Chris, yeah. Well, he has the same car I have.
The Challenger?
Up until recently. Yeah, he had a Challenger, and he decided he wasn't, he was working from home. He didn't really need it anymore. And he sold his about a month or two ago, and he got a king's ransom for that Challenger. And I was
I bet.
I'm thinking like the same thing, but I've decided not to sell it at this time. I need that car.
It's like we guys at work tell me I should sell my sports car I have, but I love driving the thing. I love it too much.
Oh gosh, I totally didn't tell you, Chris, that when the guys came to come and haul away the trash the other day from the house, because Derek, we've been cleaning out our side yard to get ready to sell the house, and so the trash haulers. They've come here a couple of times for from our wedding and other things. But one of the guys, he says, Chrissy drives up and he's like, so did your husband sell the Z? Because it was the same guy that has come before. And I said, no, he's driving it today to work. And he's like, well, tell him if he ever wants to buy it,
sell it.
Or if he ever wants to sell it, I'll buy it from him. And I was like, well, I don't know. He's only got a couple $1,000s left to pay it off. And he's like, I'll just take it over. I was like, fat chance. If he's going to sell it, we're making a big profit on that thing.
I know.
And he's like, well, you just let me know because that is a beautiful car.
Well, they're almost worth because they're kind of rare. You don't see a lot of them. And it's a stick.
What are you talking about? I see them all the time.
Oh, I do too. But I'm saying there's not a lot of, if you look up on Auto Trader, there's not a lot for sale. And especially ones that are in stick shift. So that's kind of also a rare.
What car is it? I can never remember.
Oh, it's a Nissan 370Z.
Ah, that makes more sense.
Yes. So it's the 6-speed manual with the sync rev and all that fan stuff. But anyways, it's you don't see a lot on the sticks. You see a lot of automatics. You don't see a lot of stick shifts out there. And they say
first car I ever had was a stick shift. My dad made me have a stick shift. Me too. Yeah. I burned 6 clutches in 2 years.
Oh man, yeah. Well, that's why Christine can't drive it. She can't drive the Z. She burned the clutch out. But I'll teach her if she wants to learn. We learn, baby.
I don't know. I kind of like being driven around in a stick shift. I think that it's just, I don't know. I don't know if I like the work and the effort that has to go into driving.
And on the hill, it's crazy on the hill.
Yeah, I would rather just look pretty in the passenger seat.
So here's the thing about where I come from in Great Britain. Everything is stick shift. They don't have automatics over there. Yeah,
well, then I'll take a taxi.
Really?
Well, that's the thing about it. This is because you remember where I come from. It's hills and valleys and mountains, so everything is stick shift over there. They do have a few automatics, but no one drives them because they're too expensive.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, usually they are here too. But I think there's only a few cars that actually offer a stick shift today. New vehicles. I know the new Z coming out. That's big selling point is that it's going to be available in a stick shift. You can't get that in a Corvette. And you can't get that in a Supra. You can't get that. Most BMWs don't have that. So that's kind of the selling point if you still want the traditional stick shift, which is always fun to drive. And that's why I like driving. It's fun to drive. It's not the easiest car to drive. It's a little clunky when you shift it and things like that because it's a very clunky, kind of clunky car. And but I love driving it, and it's fast. And I just
if you're not driving the Pacific Coast Highway in that thing, are you even living?
Oh well, I drive it all around town. And funny thing is, I had only driven up to Carlsbad like once. That's the furthest I've ever taken the thing. I have like no miles on the thing. I only take it back and forth to work, or maybe around town. But I just spent a ton of money on new brakes for the car, so I better get my money's worth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I even thought about when we sell this house, I had an idea that maybe to sweeten the deal, maybe I'll toss the car in the deal, like because some houses like
you're a goofball.
I know there's some houses like in the Malibu Hills or whatever, they'll like throw in a Ferrari in with the mansion kind of a thing, buy this mansion, get this Ferrari. But I was thinking like, oh yeah, buy this house, get the Z. But I'm like, I don't think I need to do that. I love the car too much,
I guess dowries are making a comeback then, I guess.
Oh, kind of.
Take this house. I'll give you three heads of cattle too.
Well, we'll throw a clover in for the deal.
What? You don't talk about my dog.
I'm just kidding, babe. I'm just kidding. No, it's funny. Funny about that. When I bought this house, the realtor agent selling the house was trying to pull a deal like that. They were trying to give me a brand new Lexus, a lease on a new Lexus, a 2-year lease on a brand new Lexus if I bought the house at their full asking price, but not the car, just the lease on the car for 2 years. We told them just take the money and put it towards the house. I don't want the car. But I've heard of people doing that kind of goofy things. Does that happen out there like that when they try to sell houses?
No.
Oh, is it a real hot real estate market where you live? Because like where we are, it's like people are bidding each other out.
That's what I mentioned to you earlier. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think it's died down a little bit, but like we've had people ask us like, "Hey, are you planning on selling the home?" And money's the same way. People ask me, are you planning on selling your home? But no. Well, I would love. Trust me, I would love nothing more than to pack my up here and take Mindy and their dogs, and we go up to like either Oregon or I don't know, Massachusetts or New York, and just live there the rest of our lives. But yeah.
Well, I've seen your house, and it's a beautiful house. I mean, it reminds me of Victorian style kind of a place. Almost like a castle. Well, compared to here, it is.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh wow. I'm gonna go down and tell Mindy. Did you know we live in a castle?
It is a castle.
You totally do. It's like it's palatial. It's definitely big.
It is. That's what she said. But hey,
you two are so inappropriate today. We're gonna have to like put a disclosure or a disclaimer on.
You're the one about talking how to learn to drive the stick. I'm like, right on.
What? Oh my word!
Hey, speaking of the car, my oldest son thinks he's getting it when he turns 16.
Well, it's because you keep telling him that you're going to give it to him when he turns 16. I might. He's only thinking it because you keep saying, "Oh, Jacob, when you turn 16, do you want the Z?"
Yeah.
Do you want to hear some funny true story? When I was 16, like I said, we didn't know a lot of money growing up, but when I was 16, my dad and my mom said, "You know what? We're going to get you a car on your birthday. We're going to get you a car," which for them, that's like, oh my God, like who did they kill to do this?
Right.
So anyway, we get out there on my 16th birthday and I get outside and they said, "Your car's on the driveway." I was like, oh my God, I got a car. I go outside and there's no car in the driveway.
What?
I said, "Dad, where's the car?" He goes, "It's there. Keep looking." And then on the bottom was this little Matchbox car.
Oh no.
Like this with a big bow on it.
Oh, and, wow.
That's a cruel trick.
It was a cruel trick.
Oh, it reminds me. Do you see the first Transformers movie where the dad takes the what's his name, the main character kid through
Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, he takes him through like the Porsche dealer, and he's like, "Oh, we'll get you a new car today," and he's like driving through the Porsche dealer. "Oh, no way!" And they drives off the lot. No, that's not going to get you a new Porsche. Come on now.
Well, I have to tell you, for my 18th birthday, because I was a late bloomer when it comes to like driving, I was very nervous to drive. So I finally got my license just before my 18th birthday. And my parents gave me this present, and it had like a couple of different boxes. So you're like opening, and then you get to the bottom and there's a little thing of keys. And so I like went running outside looking for my car, and there's cars everywhere. And I was like, "Where is it?" and I was looking because there was like this old white car, like old. It was like the year was 1999. It was like a 1985 or 1986 white Cadillac Cimarron.
Ooh, Cadillac. Look, fancy girl over here.
It was
Cadillac.
like a little tank. And I was like, where is it? And they were like, oh, it's right there. And I was like, oh. It was like one of those where it ended up breaking down like 4 times in a week. And my dad, after like me having it for my first year of college, and he had to tow me twice in the same week, he was like, we're going to look into something else.
Or maybe you start learning how to change your oil.
No, what are you talking about? It was a brand new to me car.
Yeah.
My car, so I like I said, I went through, I think it was 4 or 6 clutches. I can't remember. It was one of the 2 numbers. But I had my first car accident. Someone rear-ended me at a red light. And thankfully, nothing, wasn't bad enough. And then I had my other accident. I was dating this girl at the time, and we were making out in the front seat.
Ooh, go on.
And I guess her butt hit the handbrake, and we didn't realize that we were moving. And we crashed into a brick mailbox.
Oh no!
And my head hit the rearview mirror, and of course, then split the windscreen and all that. That was a good day at the office.
How'd you talk your way out of that one?
Well, considering it was my dad's mailbox that I hit, yeah, that was a very complicated conversation to have with him. I remember that very well. But you know what? You live and learn. And, so whatever.
Well, are you satisfied with your vehicle you have today?
The Challenger?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go. Then if you're happy with it.
Wait, a Challenger is a type of a car? I thought that it was the name of a rocket ship.
Space shuttle?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
So let me start again. Okay.
But why would somebody name a car?
Hey, Chris, you got a piece of chalk candy?
Yeah. Why?
You could draw it out for her.
No, but why would somebody name a car a Challenger after a spaceship that exploded?
No, there's like a Challenger is also a boxing opponent, or a Challenger is it's not just because of the Space Shuttle Challenger.
And actually happened way after the original Challenger came out, like the 70s or something like that.
Oh, that's what I was wondering, if it like predated. Yeah.
The cool thing about the Challenger I noticed is that it's the only car of all the new kind of like sports car and pony cars that came out, they kind of kept the original styling to the T of the original car. Like the Mustang kind of not really, and the Camaro kind of not really, but the Challenger really stayed true to it,
Yeah. It's a fun car to drive, but it's also it's an interesting car to drive like in weather, and also if you're trying to park it, or and the thing it's a very long car.
Right, it's got a really long hood to the thing. You can strap
very long hood. It's a complicated car to drive. It took me a little while to learn how to drive it properly. But I will tell you this though, that sport mode kicks in. Holy hell! Hold on.
Do you have to like hit a button or something, or how's that work?
Yeah, you hit a button and it's
called sport mode. Yeah, we have that too.
Sport mode.
Yeah, we have that on my truck. Has that, and Christine's car has that. And it really puts the RPMs up really high.
Oh yeah.
And you feel like it's thrusting you the whole time.
Especially with the engine that's in there right now.
You got to get exhaust. You got to get a loud exhaust on that thing.
No, God, no, I'm not one of those.
Oh, come on now. You got to get it super loud. I want like, you turn the thing on, it rumbles, and the neighbor's like, what? Who's there?
Yeah, I don't need that. My HOA doesn't like me already. I don't need that on top of it.
You got HOA at your place?
Yeah.
How is your HOA, by the way?
They suck.
I hear you.
I hope they're listening, because they are the worst.
Why?
Trust me.
You pay them? Nothing gets fixed?
They are about as useful. I'm not sure if I have a nice way of putting this. They couldn't find a hooker in a whorehouse if they were trying.
Oh, wow.
They were the absolute worst HOA I've ever been a part of. So.
Well, you haven't lived here yet.
I guess not.
Yes. You see our grass in the
I
front
was
of our
just
house?
going to say, do you have growing grass in your front yard?
With sprinklers
Then
at
you're
work?
already better.
The sprinklers at work?
No, they are not the most brightest people in all of Christendom. They're like,
is it
here, give us your
in-house?
money, but we don't do anything. We don't do anything.
Yeah, but make sure it ain't late. Make sure that payment's not late. Give us our money. Is it managed by an outside company?
No.
Or is it
It's an elected board.
Oh.
inside the property?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. Do you know what's funny? Actually, 2 months ago, I was going to the post office. I had to mail a package off to my little brother who lives overseas. And I'm there, and the gentleman who's in the line next to me, he was seeing the clerk, and he said he was getting mail for and my neighbor, my area I live in. And I was like, really? So as he's leaving, I go up to him and said, hey, are you with blah, blah, blah? He goes, yeah, I'm the new HOA president. I'm like, oh, well, let me tell you. And I proceeded to talk to him for about 10 minutes in the parking lot about how the previous administration were just the worst. And he's like, okay, mm-hmm. Well, we're going to try and do better. And
of course they are.
And I'm like, why break the habits of a lifetime, right? So
now, did he mention that next breath say, but we are going to charge more to do this betterness we're talking about?
I actually, believe it or not, I actually almost called for an audit of their books not long ago.
Really? We thought doing the same thing here too.
I literally think they were skimming because there's no excuse for the amount of money that we pay for there be no improvements or anything.
Exactly.
Is it a lot? Is your HOA a lot? Is it over $200?
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah. Ours is like what? 140?
I think it's just shy. Yeah. I actually think it's just shy of 300. But don't.
Oh my word!
You guys have a pool?
I wish.
That's like pool money right there. That's like I got. Does it cover your trash?
No, city pays for our trash.
Okay.
What? This is like highway robbery.
Okay, so you have to pay your trash.
But you do have live grass. Like it's green.
I just had, in fact, we just had sod put in my backyard 2 weeks ago.
But your HOA doesn't manage your backyard, do they?
No.
It's only front yard?
No, they don't manage my front yard either. As long as it's kept at a certain height and it's green.
Then what are you paying them for?
Exactly.
Well, like for us, they're supposed to maintain our yard.
That is the appropriate response to that question.
It's just the dues for living here. It's like the Quilts Kids Club.
I've seen some HOAs. Do you remember the HOA at the beach house we stayed at? Do you remember what it was? It was an HOA there, but it was a crazy. It was $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month.
I don't know. It was a lot.
It was like over $1,000. Some of these places are over $1,000 a month for their HOA fees. Of course, you get like a boat dock attached to your area. It's probably on a lake or something, or maybe a golf course. I don't know. But maybe I can kind of see maybe if you have something like that to use. But if you have nothing going on, I mean, yeah. So when we move into our new house, luckily there is no HOA at the new property we're going to. But all the homes look the same. They're all pretty well kept up. So they're all. I asked, I was like wondering if they had an HOA because everything seemed very much the same. Like the lawns all seem the same. Everything seemed kind of the same. So, but there is no HOA, so that's kind of an exciting thing.
I just got a message from my phone from my wife. She said that Jurassic Park tour is sold out.
Oh, no.
No way.
Yeah, because she too, she was like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, I know. So, but yeah, anyway, so, oh well, bad luck.
Well,
maybe next time.
So sorry to hear that.
That's fine. I love how you built our hopes up and then, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
Well, had you consulted with me, your California-based travel agent, I could have, given you some tips beforehand, but
Mrs. Duvall told me to tell you guys hello and hope you both are well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Missing my podcasting bestie.
I know.
Aww.
I know. We're all sad now. But hey, so we are planning on selling the world famous K2 Studios. So some lucky person, we're putting this actually on the flyer. It's on the flyer right now. The world famous K2 Studios is for sale. So, history was made here. And so when it sells, it's going to be, that's a selling point. That's what the kids told us to say on the flyer when you sell the houses. You can tell them we're selling the K2 Studios.
What flyer? Are you talking about on the online listing? Nobody does flyers anymore for selling houses, old man.
It's on the paper and the classifieds. On the real estate.
Yeah. Well, enough about our house situation. We want to hear about what's been happening on the Derek Duvall show lately. We've been listening to your episodes and know that you've had some really cool people. So give us all the details and all the scoop on what's new in your world.
One of the biggest helpers that's ever been for the Derek Duvall show has been IMDb Pro.
What is that, by the way?
Okay, so IMDb is the Internet Movie Database, and that basically covers every movie, every television show, every documentary that's ever existed. They'll tell you about all the people who were in it, all the people who made it, all the cast and crew. IMDb Pro is exclusively used for professional people who are in the movie business. And so you pay $100 and something a year, and you get full access to IMDb Pro, and it has the list of, let's say I wanted to have Jennifer Aniston on my show. I wish. But you basically give you her
Her phone number?
They give you her agent. They give you her agent's email and phone number, her talent agent's email, phone number, and it just goes on down the list. And so, I'm not shooting for the moon like that. I'm, start small, build big. So I've had some great conversations with some some celebrities actually have their own personal stuff on there. Some don't. But some of the people I've been talking back and forth. Some people I've got coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I'd love to tell you, but I'm not going to. But they all come from IMDb Pro, and these are actual like celebrities and actors and actresses and stuff like that. I've been working with their agents and stuff like that. It's been a lot of. I have a rule for every 10 emails I send a day, I get 3 responses, and one of those is a yes.
Do you have
all the rest of them are just the best one I ever had is just the ones that say flat out no. They're like,
okay,
no. They're the best. Okay. So here's the thing. I must have sent at least about 100 emails now since I've been using IMDb Pro, and it's fantastic. I have a format. I have a template.
Okay.
It guarantees it doesn't end up in someone's spam box.
How do you do that?
The best part, it's just Google Words. I've a lot of research I've been doing.
Okay.
So the best part is this. I send off to, actors, directors, composers, producers, tech people, special effects departments. The best one I've ever had, most of the time I get real nice with like Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd's agent and his publicist says, we are interested in doing this, but not at this time. And the reason being is because he's got Ghostbusters coming out in a few months. And
that'd be a perfect time to promote that, right?
Exactly. Well, they don't want him talking to some podcast about Ghostbusters. Oh. So that's fine. I respect that. But they said, not at this time, which means we'll revisit this again in a year, which is perfect because I have a thing. And they literally were the sweetest, nicest people. Then you get the people who are like, thanks, but no thanks. Mr. Charles Dutton does not do podcasts, which was that was a couple weeks ago. But the best one I've had, I don't know if you ever watched any of the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kane Hodder is the guy who is well known for playing Jason Voorhees. He's played it in 4 movies. He's pretty much the go-to guy because like associates him with the role. So I sent, the nice email and what have you off, and I got back a 1-word answer. No.
Oh.
And that's it. And I'm like, this is the greatest response ever. And I've kept it. I could deliberately screenshot it and kept it. This is my way of keeping myself humble. It said like this. And it was fantastic. I was like, and I've put a thing like maybe down the road, revisit it again. But no, and occasionally you've got some egos you got to rail in and stuff like that. But for the most part, all the people I've talked to have been the nicest and sweetest. And I get some people just like, hey, we're just not the market. You're not the market we're looking for promoting our work. Like one person wants like Joe Rogan or Conan O'Brien or
right.
They want that market, which I'm like, they get 500,000 plus listens an episode, which is, I mean, it's incredible. Don't get me wrong.
It is. And we're just small potatoes over here, independent.
Yeah, Mark Moran or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyway, it's that, and they want to do that, and I respect that. That's not. I have nothing against that. They've earned their career. They have the ability to do what they want to do. But I've been working the convention circuit mostly, like people who go to conventions to speak and meet fans and stuff like that. I'm not shooting for Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt or. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause that's just not possible. You're just basically sending an email into the void, which is going to get lost in the 20 billion other emails that got sent to that same email address.
Right.
So you're not necessarily looking for A-listers.
No, don't get me wrong. I'd love an A-lister, but it's just not possible.
Right.
How do the radio stations do it? Like, how the guys in radio, how do they pull off their, cause they have a producer that can send stuff out.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, a lot of these people do pay for play. Like
What's
I said, like pay for play is basically like this. You're going to come on my show. I'm going to pay you to come on my show. That's what a lot of these guys work under. They work under the presumption of pay for play. So, and also pay for play means also if they don't show up, they still get paid.
So how much has been the going rate you've seen?
I don't know. I've never had to do pay for play because I don't aim for that kind of market. I know who those players are.
No one's ever came back at you and said, okay, it's
No. Sorry, that's a lie. No, I apologize. I've had one person, I won't tell you who it was, and they wanted like $500
for one interview.
For one interview, and I part of me was kind of like, based on this person and their name recognition, like it could really do something big for my podcast.
But you're not gonna make that back, though, are you?
Exactly. So I was just like, it's not worth it.
And your hosting doesn't cost that much. Your equipment probably doesn't cost that much.
No.
So I don't think.
But But it was an A-lister. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, an actual legitimate A-lister. And I sat there and I sat on it for like 3 weeks, and I talked to a couple of people, and I was just like, it's just I'm not there yet.
Right.
So
I think
I decide.
Yeah.
And also too is you got to remember this, and this is part of marketing 101. Is if you take a woman out on a date and you take her to a prime steakhouse for a first date, they're going to expect a prime steakhouse or something of the kind of going forward because you've set that bar so high. So if I'm a beginning podcast and I'm bringing in Steven Spielberg, everybody's going to be expecting me to bring Steven Spielberg-esque guests after that. Does that make sense?
Right.
So you're saying the one offshoot A-lister, and then like you have like Joe Nobody and Joe Nobody and Joe Nobody.
It'll be a one-hit wonder, but then it's like
exactly.
Where is the loyalty that you're building for your brand and your podcast versus let me give you the shiny object, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It reminds me
so
of
that's been. No, go ahead.
I was going to say that my other podcast, Podtastic Audio, I did a whole episode on this where there was a podcast show that I think I did show you their review. How they had
I saw it. Yeah,
nothing but they did interviews and all these interviews, but they're so bad. And some are kind of okay guys, some are people you haven't heard of. But
the one I saw was Ed Asner, and I'm like, how the hell did they get Ed Asner? And then I sent Ed Asner's people an email, and the next day he died.
Oh wow.
I am not making that up. I am
you killed him,
trillion% honest with you.
It's your fault.
No, actually, it might be Mindy's fault. The reason being is she's out of nowhere said, I want to watch Up. And I'm like, I don't want to watch Up. It's sad and I don't want to watch it. And,
I love Up.
And then next thing, Ed Asner dies. So maybe me and her had a combination hand in it. I don't know.
And we saw Up recently. I showed it to Christine. The first time she saw it was probably like a month ago. What did you think of it,
10 minutes.
It was such
that first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's perfect
first 10 minutes
story. It's perfect
heart-wrenching.
But it's perfect storytelling. They don't say a single word, but you know everything that's going on. Like that's brilliant.
But real fast, just to circle back because I just want to finish one last point. If you really want to see like what kind of guests people can get, it's go to, like you said, go to people's podcasts. And look for the kind of guests that they get, because if they're willing to do it for them, there's a good chance that they're willing to do it for you.
Oh, good idea.
And that's where I've been getting that's where I've been getting a lot of my success is finding people who have done other podcasts and reaching out to them and saying, hey, my name is Derek Duvall. I run the Derek Duvall Show, blah, 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 blah. Here are some of my best guests I've had in the past, and I have a real nice template put together, and the response has been phenomenal. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like, there's so many people just flat saying, no, we're not interested, and that's just fine. I respect that. But I've been having a lot of success, a lot lately, with actors that I got 3 actors coming on my show in the next week because I want to get some in before I leave for Hawaii. And I've been blown away by the response.
That's amazing.
That sounds fantastic.
But I'm telling you right now, IMDb Pro, man, IMDb Pro is it's a golden tool. It really,
so if
I can't even imagine.
On your side of the coin, how would an actor or someone on that side use that pro service?
Like, I mean, like as if
what would they need it for?
What do they need it for?
Yeah,
it's basically letting people know, like, hey, I'm Derek Duvall. I'm going to star in this, made for TV movie, and let's say an agent really likes me, so they're going to find my IMDb profile and say, hey, look, this is who's repping him. This is, how I can get him to come, speak at a bookstore or something like that. That's what IMDb Pro is for them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's basically like the ultimate networking tool for actors and actresses.
It's like that. What's that?
It's LinkedIn. It's LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yes, LinkedIn. It's LinkedIn for actors and actresses.
Do actresses and actors use LinkedIn? Can use that too, or no?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know about that either.
I don't know.
Really? Well,
but no, I mean, and you got to remember too, like, the purpose of the Derek Duvall Show is not to showcase Hollywood talent. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's fun to have him on. It is. I've been having a great time with him. But my whole thing was I wanted to be about people. So I've got authors, I've got scientists, I've got doctors, I've got, singers, I've got, great thinkers, I've got an interview scheduled with an astronomer,
Oh, nice.
He's talking about a new Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it's got something.
Well, the only question
NASA.
The only question I would have for that guy would be like, when is the asteroid coming, and can we stop it?
Actually, we're not. It's been proven we would not be able to.
No, we can't send Harry and the crew. Got to send Harry and the crew up there. They'll take care of it. They'll drill a hole.
I made that joke with them already. They didn't find it very funny. Apparently, according to the current technology that we possess as human beings, we do not have the capability to stop an asteroid from hitting this Earth.
That's insane and depressing all at the same time.
It is, and it's the truth. They said even if they had 2 years of warning, right, based on the technology that we currently possess, we would not be able to stop an asteroid.
Are you sure? They can send Netflix to outer space. They can figure that out.
No. The best part was, honestly, NASA released this finding. I'll send it to you. NASA released this finding a couple months ago. I actually talked about it on the show. And they said basically with the technology that we currently possess on this Earth, we would not be able to stop an asteroid from striking and destroying the planet.
Wow. On that very positive note, Derek, where can our listeners learn more about you and your show? Where can they find you?
The best thing to do is go. I've been told not to say www anymore because Mindy said that's just absolutely stupid to say. So
I was saying
I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it right.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
The best thing you can find me at is DerekDuvallShow.com. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Derek Duvall Show. We are on every streaming platform you can imagine. Best thing to do, obviously, if you have iTunes, go on there, leave us a rating, and give us a review. I love those reviews. So I read every one of them myself.
You and Chris are like the same when it comes to that, just reading over those reviews and using them to kind of fuel the fire for podcasting magic to happen.
The reviews are my favorite part, man. I've told this story before. Like I remember the very first reviews I got for the pilot episode. It was like, "You suck," and we've heard this before, and you're just copying the Tonight Show and all this. And that was just my family. The actual people on the internet were just the worst, so.
That's hilarious.
I love the Twitter reviews too. Like I got ones for Podtastic just the other night. People are screenshotting, replying to my stuff and like things that I said on my episode and tell me about it and their experiences and things like that, which I think are fantastic. Those kind of come out of nowhere. I mean, the reviews on Apple are nice too. But the actual tweet responses and the social media posts are good too.
The best thing for me right now is, like I said, I'm in a place right now where we finally have an audience. The Derek Duvall Show has an audience, and it's now we're in, I think it was 23 countries now, which
Look
I'm
at
like,
you.
holy shit. I don't know how that happened, but it is. Especially we're also in Mother Russia. Comrades. But no, I'm not going to tell you. It's been phenomenal, the response. And now I'm starting to get like tweets like from Auckland, New Zealand, or from, Cherbourg, France and stuff like that. I'm getting these like people who are telling me where they're listening from, and I'm loving it. And I just finished my contract with Manscaped. I just did a minor contract on the side with my friend Jeff to do all the voiceover work for me to release new promos. We're firing on all cylinders right now, and I can't believe this. Where I was a year ago, where I was so depressed that I never thought I'd ever pick up a microphone again, to where I am sitting here right now with you guys. It's night and day. I am just blown away the response to the Derek Duvall Show. I am grateful because I have the Michael Jordan. I have the Michael Jordan way of thinking when it comes to this show, and that is, if you've got someone out there who has never heard of you before, and it's going to take a chance to take 1 hour out of their day, which if anybody knows, time is a commodity. It's very, very, very rare to spend. That you deserve to give them the best damn show you have to make.
Absolutely.
Because if that one show, in fact, my friend Chad, you had Chad on your show. He always says that first song sets a tempo for the evening. If you're not going to like that first song, you're not going to have a good evening. You're not going to have a good time with this band. And I had the same thing. That's why the first minute or so of the show, I am adamant. Like, I've got to throw a joke in there. I've got to, set the show up so when people are there, like, oh man, this Dr. So-and-so who's coming to your show, I do want to hear what he has to say.
Right.
You're selling the product even when you're actually on the show. And so, the response has been just phenomenal. I can't even imagine how. I just wish we had a better following on Instagram. I am the worst at Instagram.
Oh, really?
Here's the thing. No one knows what I look like.
Oh,
all right.
Well, that's
the thing. No one knows what
Instagram.
No one knows what Derek Duvall looks like, except for a handful of people, you guys, a couple of people, on the world, and some close friends. But that's the thing. I'm trying to keep my anonymity for the show, and so. I post pictures of like my dog or this Lego set that I'm looking at right here, the Saturn V Lego set, which I'm looking forward to putting back together when I get back from Hawaii. I try to keep it fun, but my thing about it is just I'm trying to figure out how to use Instagram productively.
Okay, well, let me break it down for you. The Instagram expert over here who keeps on track of the trends. So I'm going to let you know. It's going to be a little bit hard for you to break through the Instagram algorithm if you're not using Reels and using Stories. Reels are these little 30-second videos because Instagram is moving away from being just a photo posting platform to being an interactive short video, more like TikTok space. Yeah. And the algorithm is going to be based off of that.
Yeah, but
you know what's funny? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You can copy somebody else's reel or somebody else. I do this a lot. Or somebody else's thing, and if it will let you, you can put it up into your feed, up into your own, with some cool quote or cool picture or cool.
But it still recognizes it as not your own unique post, and so it doesn't give it as much traction.
Well, hey, but at least it's something. I'm saying it gives you something on your. That's what I do for Podtastic in this show. I'll throw a lot of I'll see something kind of cool in the feed, and I'll kind of post that to our stories, so it stays up in our stories and gets people eyeballs on it. I know it's not ours directly, but it's something cool that I think is kind of cool. It's like you just. I
gotta say something real quick before I forget. As of yesterday, I did not know this. So I have a friend of mine who I've known since I was 11 years old. When I first met, she was one of my first friends I ever had when I came to America. She is a TikTok influencer, and I did not know that was a thing until yesterday. So
they make a lot of money. Yes,
exactly. So I sent her a message. I sent her a text, and we don't see each other as much anymore as we used to. But anyway, I sent her a text. Are you considered a TikTok influencer? And she goes, yes. And I said, how exactly does that work? She goes, TikTok pays me to make videos.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I was like, you're kidding me. And that's basically her fun money on the side. And I was just blown away. So anyway, I was telling her, hey, do you want to come on the show? And
that'd be great. That'd be great.
We're trying to figure out how that would. Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the logistics of that even looks like. So
yeah, I was following one influencer on Instagram, and I was because she had 30,000 followers on Instagram, which is a big following, and I dove a little deeper, and then I realized I landed on a link to an OnlyFans. Thing. I said, so I'm like, well, that makes sense. Well,
sure.
I said, now it makes sense. Now I know why you have 30,000 followers.
Yeah.
So, well, Derek,
do you know the ones who get me the most? This is no word of a lie. The ones that surprise me most is cosplayers.
Really?
The people who go to conventions and they dress up like Darth Vader or I don't know, whatever science fiction fad is going on at the time right now. And these people go there, men or women, and what have you, and they make thousands of dollars for an appearance.
Just taking pictures, right?
Yeah, just taking pictures and posing with fans, or they do their own thing. It's not OnlyFans, but it's kind of like Patreon kind of a thing.
Right.
And they make a lot of money doing this. And I was blown away. And
yeah.
Can you hear my dogs in the background? If you can, I'm sorry.
I do. I think it's time for dinner time for the dogs and for you too, I bet, Derek. So, hey, Derek, I know this has been a little longer than we planned for today.
You're fine. No, fine. You're fine. I've actually enjoyed it. I've loved talking to you two. You're two of my absolute favorite people in the interwebs.
Oh, well, that's so sweet. We'll have this episode up on the old interweb, speaking of which, as soon as possible. Well, you, Derek, you have yourself a spectacular day, and we'll chat with you later.
Absolutely, bud. Thank you so much. You too, Christine.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Yeah, have fun in Hawaii.
Oh, I will.